Hello and welcome to Let's Play Octopath Traveler 2. So, let's head on over to the Tranquil Grotto. Which we're going to continue to enjoy our spurring amulet to avoid all these side battles, because... Hey, who's this? Oh, yeah, I already robbed you. People just leaving a bunch of tents up in the middle of the desert. What's wrong with you? I'm actually going to take it off as well for this round, too. Because I remember running through this desert, going to something...
Bring it on!
Fighting a creature and then just want to see some of these creatures.
Time to divvy up the
Doesn't look like these are different, so... Might be putting that,
Time to clean up the filth.
Yeah, this is like all the same.
Yeehaw! Let's do it! Catapult, go, go, go! All in a day's work.
Yeah, we're just gonna put the amulet on these. These critters are not offering much resistance, and I don't really think your levels out. Oop. Tranquil Grotto. This is where we found Homegirl with the loot. And we had her story. Damn it. Oh, let's see if there's any new enemies in here. I do want to check that out. Every time I look at the brooch of joy, I feel a little dirty. I'm stealing that from the girl, and that's the keepsake for her dead mother.
I'm just getting warmed up. Don't underestimate me. Catapult, go, go, go! Maybe next time.
A couple people are pretty close to level, so we might just get them that level and then mosey on out. Step ahead.
Bring it. Yeehaw! Let's do it. Catapult, go, go, go! Time to divvy up the earnings.
Sir, I have more grit than I can handle. I like that phrase.
I suggest you get out of my way.
I agree with you.
Catapult, go, go, go! Maybe next time.
Okay.
My as swift as a snake.
Oh, we surprised our foe. Boy, was I really confused there for a second.
I think not.
Thinking time. Magia and greeting.
Thanks.
I've seen worse methods.
Sure you have, Oswald.
Out of my way.
Here to catapult, go, go, go! All in a day's work.
So close. Alright, what are we fighting now? Oh. It's just a formation. Okay, we need Hikari. And it looks like we're also going to equip Kishia with... Oh, we can just use the mirror right now, can't we?
It was hope that drove me to live, to survive. Drove me away from death's clutches, to guide others along the same path. But hope was a mistake. There is nothing worth living for. Nothing in this cruel, unsightly world. There is no dawn worth waiting for. What would you give to see the morrow, Lord Ageha?
Kazan. Why did you betray us? You lifted up Lord Mugen to the throne, then you tore him down from it.
An eagle must hide his talons. It was the only way to catch my true quarry. The Dark Blood Blade. The sacred treasure of Clan Ku. Not an easy thing to steal. Not so long as Mugen stood in my way. So I cut him down.
Well, this is unexpected.
With Hikari's sword.
You? What are you?
For years I have hidden my intentions from Ku. My very name. But now you shall know it. Oboro. All I did to prevent the tide of darkness that waits on the morrow from reaching us. Within this blade slumbers the power of the shadow. The power to quench the flames. However, such a feat cannot be accomplished without a sacrifice. The accursed blood of Darkest. If not for its taint, we may have seen a desert free from the stain of crimson. And now, I end this. Hikari. Goodbye, old friend. This world's end calls to me. Soon, you shall have the world you envisioned. A world without bloodshed. For oblivion shall bring peace.
Kazan. Mugen's rebellion, the raising of the city, even my ascent to the throne. Were they all just more of your plots? Were we all playing into your hands? How many of my friends died because of you? Hikari. Ever since I was a child, I spoke with him about the future I envisioned. A future without bloodshed. Were our ideals so different? Why did he do this? He aims to bring an end to the world. We have to stop him together. We will. We'll lead everyone toward the dawn. I guess that brings clarity as to this letter. Alright, let's get our people back, or I guess the people I prefer in my party. Oops. Who's the terrorist? There you go. Alright, let's zip on over to the Felsun Ruins. It's not dark. Wait, what's this? Oh, whatever. Yeah, Felson Runes it is. Off a crack ridge. Did I ever beat this guy up? Yeah, I did. Man, they did a great job of making things kind of unsettling with all this lack of music and all.
Let the experiment
Oh, I
begin.
didn't put the amulet back on.
I'm just
Tower
getting
of Salt.
warm. Yeehaw! Let's do it. Catapult, go, go, go. Time to divvy up the earnings.
Oh, that's right, because Oswald's about to level, and Thorny is pretty close too. So, yeah, we'll just blow through these nerds.
Time to clean up the filth.
Time to die.
Catapult, go, go, go. All in a day's work.
Do I want to spend time? So I'm getting about 1,000 experience per. That's like 10 more fights. Yeah, it's fine.
Time to clean up the filth.
Bring it. Yeehaw! Let's do it. Catapult, go,
I'll
go,
put the
go.
amulet on after this.
Maybe next time.
Thorny's already like an unmerciful destroyer of worlds, so I don't think she really needs more levels. I want more levels because that's need, but whatever. Anywho. Hello? Come to talk about your extended car warranty? Felsun Ruins. How's this? Journal fragment. I did it, diary. I finally got hired as a scrivener. And for the Delta Times too. All the world's information flows through a newspaper, a river of facts alongside a paper water wheel. An endless procession of scoop, scoop, scoop. As a journalist, I'll dash about the world investigating, uncovering, and breaking news. What better way for me to carry out my mission? I've thought about this a lot, and everyone has some fact they're hiding. Vast sums of knowledge locked in noggins the world over, but how to crack open these repositories and acquire those tasty secrets within? That's the rub, of course. As I am now, I doubt that I have the dexterity to pick any of those cranial locks. I was raised in isolation, always out of the loop, hiding quietly on the outskirts of society. There's a positive way to spin that, though. I spent all that time that I wasn't talking to people, observing them. Here's what I learned. People let their guard down around cute little animals. A scowling guard captain will pay a cuddly coo with an adorable puppy and soon confess all his gripes to the precious thing. And so I will become the puppy. I'll wag my little doggy tail, act the part of the friendly little non-threatening furball, and slide right into people's confidences. My brother may be the soaring eagle with his bird's eye view, but I'll be the sharp-eyed hound, keeping my nose to the ground and sniffing out every last detail I can find. Oh no, that's the news lady! At least I think it is. Well, who's the dancer lady? I don't know much of time passed much left, but it's the truck machine training with tracks so over. Today, what did we take back part? Oh god, there's a lot of these fragments. My oldest memory is crimson, a spray of bright red droplets and a harrowing scream, a crowd fleeing in all directions and enemy soldiers mercilessly cutting down innocents. Some of them even laughed as they did. Amidst this I was a stone, still in my tender years. I neither cried nor wept nor cowered, but merely watched the chaos unfold. Being raised in a war-torn land does things to an impressionable mind, and I suppose something had already broken inside me. I would have died that day, cut down like the rest, were it not for my brother. His cunning carved a path for us out of that hellish place. My brother is brilliant, so much so that the enemy king spared him if he would serve. Yet despite his genius, despite how shrewd the plans he proposed were in their attempts to avoid bloodshed, the blood always flowed. Humans steal, they kill, they take and they take and they take. Lives, possessions, lands. It's the state of our nature, a simple fact of our existence. My brother and I have seen so much together, and we both reached the same conclusion. The world doesn't deserve to see another dawn. The life of man is nasty, brutish, and ugly. Why not make it short? Alright, that's... I need her on our side, and I need you to convince her that's a good idea. My brother's face was flushed as he handed me the letter addressed to Raime. Perhaps he'd been in his cups. I didn't need to ask him why he would be celebrating the fundraising, and Montwise was going swimmingly. On my way home, I spotted Hikari. He's the key to everything in Ku, and if our machinations go according to plan, my brother will get what he's after. I doubt Hikari has a clue who I am. Another tactic proposed by Brother Dearest. No prior familiarity with me will help move things along down the line, but though Hikari doesn't know anything about me, I certainly know a lot about him. Hikari has another side to him, a second personality that my brother says was born from his family's cruel, cursed lineage. Somewhere in the past, Clan Ku's blood mingled with that of the infamous Archmage Darquest, sparking a history of war and sacrifice, a more odious bloodline I do not know. As I passed Hikari in the streets for a moment, I felt as if our eyes met. His gaze was steady and true, just as it was when he was a boy. How had that bright spark in his eyes not dimmed over time? He had seen the same horrors I had, been through the same terrible war. Goddamn, there's a lot of lore. This is bad. Hikari was captured before I had the chance to deliver my brother's letter to Raimei. If Hikari is killed, it will ruin everything and we'll have to start over from scratch. Raimei calls the Fortress of Stormhell its home, coldest place in Celestia, and I hate it. Time is of the essence, yet this frigid blizzard is battering me like a leaf in the wind. If only I could take 2 steps without being blown 3 back. By the time I finally reached Stormhell, Hikari had already been released. I can only assume he managed to sway Raimei on his own. I handed my overdue missive to one of Raimei's retainers and quickly put the chilly place behind me. Interesting. Oswald is sentenced to life imprisonment. It took me a moment to process the judge's verdict. I blinked, doubting my ears. What was going on here? He was supposed to be executed, wasn't he? I ran as fast as I could to find Harvey. I should have known. That swine had stuffed leaves into the judge's pocket to bribe him into that decision. Why? I want him to see the power of my perfected magic. That's his reason. The blighted fool. Pride. Worthless pride. We need the Book of Demons completed. What if Oswald somehow finds a way to interfere? When I gave my report to my brother, he simply said, just watch the spectacle unfold. Apparently my brother had already taken Harvey's massive ego into account when he made his contract with the man. If that's the case, then I suppose this isn't a problem after all. Regardless, I should hurry and gather what information I can about Frigid Island. Holy shit, there's so much lore! I guess this is Scrivener. I concealed myself among the chatting students and slipped into Harvey's lecture. The Book of Demons is nearly complete, so he was in a jovial mood. When I saw my chance, I gave Harvey the news. Oswald had tried to escape Frigid Island and died in the attempt. I thought the news would throw his high spirits off a cliff, but instead he just started giggling. It was creepy. When he finally settled down, he merely said, I need to prepare for my guest's arrival, and vanished back into his laboratory, humming cheerfully all the while. It's like he thinks Oswald is alive. Is Oswald alive? It can't be. And yet, if so, then he will come here to find Harvey and seek his vengeance. Wait, this could be perfect. I doubt Harvey will honor our agreement and hand over the Book of Demons without a fuss. If I can set those two against each other, it might create the perfect opportunity to slip in and swipe the book. I wonder if my brother had predicted this too. Probably yes. Harvey has left for Dusk Ruin Shrine. The remains of Archmage Darquest will provide a final piece that Harvey needs. The Book of Demons will soon be complete. I found a nice cozy place to conceal myself, and sure enough, Oswald showed up. Just as predicted, the two fought it out, and I was able to retrieve the Book of Demons in the wake of their battle. There was one surprise, however. Harvey escaped alive. What? What was that bright flash of magic? A glimpse of a force that may dwarf even the Book of Demons? That girl. Does she have some special power within her? Harvey is still alive. That's worrisome. Oswald entrusted the girl Elena to his assistant before setting off on a journey. Like Alpates, the blood of the Lumina family runs in Elena's veins. I need to continue monitoring her to watch for suspicious signs. Day after day, Elena sits at her desk and pours herself into her studies. A diligent girl, I suppose, but I am curious as to why her brow sometimes wrinkles and she cradles her head in her hands. Still, her eyes are bright and her gaze seemingly set on some happy goal far off in the distance. I marked the difference from when I saw her in Harvey's company. There was only worry and fear in her eyes then. My heart nearly leapt out of my throat when I heard that assistant's voice suddenly ring out behind me. Can I help you, miss? I immediately turned and tried to distract and dissemble with my tried and true cover story, can I interest you in a newspaper subscription? She smiled then, eyes warm, but I sensed a keen suspicion burning within those friendly eyes. I will not underestimate her again. No one else has ever noticed me when I didn't want to be found. I'll need to abandon my surveillance. Too risky. Besides, I've seen nothing to suspect in all the time I've watched Elena. Might as well move on to more important matters. Well, here I am in Candlebrine. Word is that I can find someone who has the lost pages of the Book of Night's original manuscript. Caldina, captain of the Sacred Guard, seems to be moving as Arcanet predicted in assembling these pages. There's a potential problem, however. A nosy inquisitor named Temenos seems to have caught wind of all this. Arcanet has her eye on him, but I can only pray he doesn't make any problems for us. I'll need to be careful not to draw his attention, too. The Book of Night is close to being fully restored. Once it is, I'll need to move quickly to retrieve it and fulfill my mission. Allying myself with Arcanet was merely the easiest means to do that. My brother did tell me to be wary of her, however he was quite forceful about it. I wonder why. Bro. Caldina, captain of the Sacred Guard, is driven by lust for vengeance. To achieve that end, she seeks to make the power of shadow her own, and with the restored Book of Night in hand, she set out for Twilight Shrine. Her naive dream of avenging her people will never become reality. Why, you ask, dear diary? Because the right Arcanet taught her is purposely flawed. So there I was, hiding in the shadows of the Twilight Shrine and waiting for the perfect opportunity. Lo and behold, Caldina's right went awry, and she transformed into a most hideous form. No one told me I'd have to deal with some horrible monster. This is above my pay grade. Luckily, I had no need to fear that Temenos showed up and handled Caldina's problem for me. I suppose Arcanet was behind his well-timed arrival. Arcanet. What a puppet master. Bravo. I finally understand why my brother warned me to keep an eye on her. I slipped down to the ritual site after Temenos made his exit and retrieved the Book of Night. All that's left is to combine it with the Book of Demons and we'll be able to complete the Dark Blood Grimoire. Here I am, grand old Timbrain, just in time for the coronation ceremony. Word on the street is that an apothecary named Trousseau is going to rain on the parade with a storm infused with shadow energy. His goal, and I quote, is to extend a hand to save all in need. What a nice notion. Let's rewind the clock. It was 1 year ago that Trousseau lost hope in the future and started down this path. He was out gathering medicinal herbs when he stumbled into Lost Seed. There he met Claude, who gave him the Book of Night. Okay. Claude was disappointed with the encounter. It seems he had swayed Trousseau to his side, but couldn't persuade an apothecary in the man's company. With a regretful sigh, he told me that this other apothecary's eyes were filled with a motherly strength, deep wells of kindness that belied a sense of fierce determination. What was her name again? Ah, yes, Casti. She stopped Trousseau, saw the people of Timbrain to safety, and even dealt with the poison rain. As if that wasn't enough, she also managed to mix up medicine that could combat the shadow on the spot. Claude's intuition was right. Casti is someone to keep an eye on. My brother will need to know that we have another dangerous potential wrench in our plans. Let's go left. I met a merchant today in Clockbank, an honest fellow with laughing eyes named Particio. He's boasted that he'll rustle up 80 billion leaves and buy the rights to the steam engine from its current owner, Mr. Rock. Then he'll give the technology away to everyone. When pressed on why, he said, things like this should be shared with the whole world. Particio confuses me. If I can borrow that ruthless Rock's words, it is human nature to take from others and give unto oneself. Despite his noble declarations, I'm sure Particio will prove himself no different from the other slime. Greed and self-interest, win-win out in the end. They always do. Still, I'm vaguely curious as to how his story will play out. I'll follow this Particio, though I'll keep my expectations low. Placing your faith in others only gets you betrayed in the end. My brother made a deal with Harvey, craft the Book of Demons, an evil tome said to be imbued with magic of Darkest himself. Why, you ask? Well, dear, because we needed to restore the lost Dark Blood Grimoire. The rub here is that neither my brilliant brother nor even Claude know how to make this tome, thus the need for Harvey. The one thing my brother does know is that the remains of Darkest are a key component. When I shared that vital tidbit, Harvey smiled. That's all I needed. It sounds like he was already most of the way there. He's a valuable asset, so we'll do everything we can to assist him. Harvey has an unhealthy obsession with a scholar named Oswald. No, let's call it what it is, a severe inferiority complex. Harvey told me he'd gladly give up the Dawn if it meant he could best the man. Well, I'll let Harvey read the Book of Night in order to pull him into our intrigues, but honestly I think it wasn't necessary. The bottomless well of envy is his gut. Properly manipulated would likely have been motivation enough. Besides, I don't trust him. No normal person can fathom that twisted mind of his. Partici has gone and done it. He has gone and done it. He's humbled Rock, and actually wrested the rights of the steam engine from that greedy tycoon. Still, that's nothing compared to what he did next. He actually gave it away, just as he said he would. Things like this should be shared with the whole world. He's lived up to that grandiose statement, and then some. The heat of his passion even melted Rock's icy heart, and I didn't think the desert sun was hot enough to do that. So taking a step back, what Partici did is impossible, unimaginable, inconceivable. I've observed countless people in my time, and to date, every one of them is motivated to varying degrees by self-interest. People are always willing to step on others to achieve their own interest. But Partici, is he truly different? Is he someone who can at last transform this dark, ugly world into something wonderful? What do you think, brother? Doubt is what Temenos does. Welcome to my humble castle. That was how he greeted me when I arrived and lost the seed, before he took me on a casual stroll through that rotting mausoleum of a town. I struggled not to gag at the stench of death and decay, all the while him smiling and breathing deep as if taking in the airs of a tranquil mountain meadow. This ghastly man's name is Claude, and he is the descendant of the infamous archmage Darkest. Interesting. It is said that his notorious grandfather gave him a taste of the blood of the benevolent god of darkness, Vide, frighteningly enough, while he was still in the womb, and as a result the man is blessed with eternal youth. With the blood of Darkest and Vide within his veins, Claude's fate was to become the dark god's vessel, and yet he rejected this destiny and instead chose to pass that honor to his offspring. For our part, we don't care who the vessel is, just that we have one. Claude, however, seemed to have preferences in the matter. Preferences. Pah! The man sired countless children with countless women and set his progeny at each other's throats. To the bloody victor goes the ultimate spoils. I shivered as he looked me up and down, his eyes seeming to pierce my very soul. It was as if he was seeking to plant a murderous seed inside me, too. When he handed me Dark Blood Staff, he told me that the woman who stole it for him, has a lot of potential. His words. My purpose in Lost Seed fulfilled, I hurried out of there. I can't wait to hand this staff over to Arcanet and let her handle the cathedral's sacred flame. Who the fuck is Arcanet? Oh no. Dear Diary, today I met with Pt2, the woman known as the Dark Hunter. I introduced her to Professor Harvey several years ago at Arcanet's request. She was talkative today and had this to say. I met Arcanet when I was young, and it was then that I swore myself to her service. Ever since I have hunted for her and her alone, even to slaying the legendary monsters known as the Guardian of the First Flame, at her behest. Sometimes I hunted people too, like the time I came up to possess the Dark Blood Bow. Once again my lady has use of me, and so I will gladly obey. I nodded along, and when she was finished, she showed me a monster. This beast, which she had captured in Totohaha, looked out at me with eyes filled with loathing for all that walked on this earth. I asked her what it was, and she told me the result of years of brutal conditioning and a healthy dose of Harvey's science for good measure. The result, an abomination crafted through repeated and horrifying experiments. I nodded again. A soul this steeped in despair would surely prove to be a great source of power. It seems that leaving the flame of Totohaha in her care should prove no issue. Yep, I get it. Oh my god, read the thing! I can't believe it. How did Partici turn the economic desert of a town into a hopping commercial hub? That business idea of his was inspired. I must admit that watching Alron's department store come to life woke something warm inside me. I told Partici the world's filled with people groaning under the weight of 1,000 problems. It's fresh ideas like this that bring a ray of joy into troubled lives. For once I really truly meant what I said. I should never have poured my heart out in public like that. I suppose my declaration was proof that he's cracked my emotional defenses and convinced me to Gasp. Believe in him. In my defense, he's really something else. Before I knew it, I was promising to help. Truth is, I'm excited to see what magic he'll put out of his Partitio hat next. Guess what, dear diary? This is the first time I ever helped someone for something that wasn't directly related to my mission. Let me stop for a moment and appreciate the fact that he convinced the Elrond to invest 80 billion leaves in him. 80 billion. The question is, will Partitio prove to be a man of integrity? Will he really use those leaves to help the world and not just line his own pockets? Just a little bit longer, only a bit. Mind. I find myself needing to see what he does next. Are there any other, journal entries in here? Well, I guess we're gonna be running out anyways. Alright, let's, use the mirror. Okay, actually I can just count them. Holy Lord up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I missed 13 and 14. Wait, no. I'm missing 13. Because that's 14. Why is 14 after... Oh, fuck, I missed one. God damn it! Alright, you fucking blinking light bulb. Where are you at? Back here? You down here? Did they just not include a 13? Is it out of order? 11, 12... Oh, it's 13's up here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, yeah. That's weird. Oops, my bad. Alright, anyways, let's use the mirror. Please. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, good.
Now what have we got here? A sacred flame? Here of all places? Have I stumbled upon a scoop once again? Why, I believe I have. I'm glad that's done. There's no need to keep up this cloying facade. To wear the mask of a chipper, unflappable scrivener. No. Now I bring an end to this dark, wretched world. To liberate its people from their pain, their suffering, and their hatred. Just like I swore to you, brother. Together, we will usher in the night. I kept a close eye on the travelers, all while my allies and I worked behind the scenes. Until at last, I found the book I sought. The Dark Blood Grimoire. With it, I will smother the sacred flames, that they will never again light the way for the dawn. I offer this gift of blood. May the flames turn cold and dark. Mortals. Gods. Who was it that drew the line between them? The blessed? The accursed? Us? Them? Partitio. Would that we had never met. I'm sorry,
It's very tragic. Ori. I heard from an apothecary in town. A woman was found collapsed near the sacred flame and brought there for treatment. She had brown hair and wore a cap much like a scrivener. After she regained consciousness, she simply vanished. That's Ori. It's gotta be. But if that's true, then what saved her? It appears her wounds fell just short of being fatal. She must have changed her mind just in the nick of time. She saw the worth of walking towards the dawn. Well, I can't hazard a guess as to why she hesitated. I believe it was thoughts of you that saved her life. Me? Now don't be ridiculous, like I'd have anything to do with that. Well, no matter, as long as she's alive, all's well. But just where did she wander off to? I sure am lucky that you're around to cheer me up, eh? Our journey isn't over. We do well not to waste time in idle conversation. But if you must talk, then perhaps a different topic of conversation would suffice. Well done, Oswald. Oswald. Thank you kindly. Alright, I'm going to make the cut here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.